What is going on today, guys? Hope everyone is having an amazing day. Today we're going to be looking at some clips and videos from For Honor, kind of going over them. I'm going to be giving y'all some tips and tricks that you guys will need if you're new to the game. Now, I've been super excited about this game since I first heard about it back in 2015. It releases Tuesday for most of you, but I got it digitally, so Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be playing it. And I plan on, really getting the hang of this game. It's a lot of fun once you learn how to play, and it can be very addicting. Alright, another tip is to master one hero at a time. It takes a lot of practice to understand every moveset with each character, so don't keep jumping around from each hero to hero, or else, you'll never get good at the game. You'll be very frustrated. So find a hero that you're good at and really just master that character. Alright, last quick tip is to make sure you buy hero status. It makes a huge difference when it comes to leveling up and getting steel. Even if you're only able to play a few hours a day, it adds up very fast and is worth the extra steel that you would spend on hero status. These were just a couple of things I wanted to mention before we get into more technical aspects of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Alright, these were some of the game types that were in the beta. Now when the actual game is released, there will be more. And I'm going to very briefly go over these. I'm sure most of you have already seen videos on all of these. Dominion is 4v4 with minions and capture points. Duel is 1v1, Brawl is 2v2, Deathmatch is 4v4. And now with each one of these game types, you can play against people or AI. It's whichever you prefer. I think the only real big difference is the faction points that you get. You don't get as many when you play against the AI, but as far as the steel and the experience goes, it's about the same, so it's up to you. And unless they change it when the game comes out, I mean, it really just depends on how you want to learn the game. Alright, so let's move on to the orders. This is every 24 hours. This is every 48 hours. This is the steel. This is the XP. Oh, and this is what you have to do in order to complete the order. And so you notice every 24 hours you get 300 steel, 300 XP. The 48-hour ones you get 100 steel. You either get 500 or 1000 XP. And even though you may not be good at a certain hero or game type, you should still take the time to complete these orders. They're relatively easy. You get a large amount of steel and XP, and you also get to learn something that you're not necessarily good at. So I mean, it's a win-win. I mean, they're pretty easy, so just take the time out to complete these. Alright, let's go over the heroes very quickly. Now I'm not going to go into great detail about any of these right now. If you would like, you can go into the Ubisoft website or their YouTube channel, and they have in-depth videos on all these heroes. There's just a couple of things I wanted to mention. Even though these say right here, not recruited, you can still play as them. Everything that you do as far as gear and level, you get to keep, which becomes very handy if there is an order that you need to complete that you don't have a hero unlocked. You can still get the steel and XP, and later on if you want to unlock them, and you can. Now these are just the ones that were in the beta. There'll be 3 more. Alright, I'm only going to go over this stuff very briefly. So you have the weapon, chest, arms, and helm. Now each character has different, weapons, chest, and arm. They all look different. This is an ornament which goes on the top of your head, which costs steel. Right here you can see you can be a male or a female. Now there are certain characters that you can only be one or the other for whatever reason. Here's some of the outfits. They cost steel. In my opinion, they weren't worth it, but that was just the beta. Hopefully they have some better looking ones when the game's actually released. Now this stuff is pretty, self-explanatory. The colors, and each time you level up you get different colors. Same thing with material. Each time you level up or prestige you get different materials. Over here to the feats. Now each hero has individual different feats. They're all, they're not the same. And so each time you level up your character from 1 to 20, you get different feats. And this is just me showing you some different feats, And a lot of people think when you prestige from 1 to 20, you lose all this. You actually keep all this. No matter, once you hit level 20, you get to keep all this even when you prestige. And so here are the executions. You know, I'm not going to click on them because each character has different executions as well, and they cost steel to unlock. Same thing with the emotes, they cost steel to unlock. Each character has different ones. And so that's pretty much it for this. Alright, this is something that I noticed a lot of people didn't go over in their videos, and this is something that I've learned from playing the alpha, closed beta, and the open beta, is don't immediately scrap all your gear. There's multiple reasons why you don't want to do this. For one, scrap is not that, you know, big of a deal when you are a lower level. Now when you get into the higher levels, you need to level up your gear. This is important. But as far as these lower level, you want to keep some of these sets because they have different stats in each one of them, as you can see. And the way this works is, or the best way, you know, I can explain this is, there's different game modes, and now certain pieces of armor will work in one game mode, or they won't make much sense in other game modes. This is the easiest way I can explain this. For instance, let's say it's a 1v1. You don't really need revive speed. It makes no sense. You're not going to revive yourself if you're dead. So you may want one that has more block resistance and stamina regen. So again, I mean, I cannot stress this enough. Do not just immediately scrap all your gear. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I made, thinking that I needed all this scrap, and it ended up, you know, I had so much scrap that, you know, I couldn't even really use it all, because I mean, when you go to level up your gear, you also need steel and scrap, and half the time it's not even worth leveling up your gear. You may as well just, you know, prestige and then, you know, buy the scavenger packs, and I'll talk about that later. But that's pretty much how that works. So just make sure, bottom line, just make sure you do not scrap all your gear, because you can make different sets. Really quick, just to go back over again what I was saying with the different sets, you can see right here the block resistance is increased. This is level 2, but it also reduces the revive speed but increases the stamina. That's what I was mentioning, and that's basically how it works. Whatever you are increasing, it decreases something. Each set is a little bit different. As you can see, they also vary in look. And basically why this is important, once you've played enough of your character to know how the gear works and how your character works in each game mode, you can start to scrap gear that you know you don't need. But don't immediately scrap this gear. It's very important. And once you prestige, right here I'm level 19, and this is the open beta. I didn't play a lot of it because I didn't want to get too bored of the game, especially when it was coming out Monday night. But once you prestige, you can basically have multiple sets. It's like you have 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, and 4 set. And it's basically like presets. You can choose between them right before a game. So if you're going to go play Dominion, you can have a Dominion set, elimination set, duel set, and brawl set. So that's basically why that was really important. I just wanted to touch up and kind of go over this a little bit more. Also, another thing, don't always just immediately think because something is a higher level than something else that it is worth it. Again, always notice how, you know, the stamina cost reduction may be increased, but the defense and attack may be reduced. So just play around with different sets, see what works for your character. Don't immediately scrap everything. And that's pretty much it. That's what I was trying to show you right here. Here's one of the biggest things I want to go over, and I see a lot of these channels, you know, that went over this, that got it completely wrong, or they just, you know, missed it or didn't go over it well enough. So you got the basic, armor, weapon, and premium. A lot of these channels, you know, they're like, get the premium pack's the best thing, premium pack. And I can tell you, you know, for a fact, after playing the alpha, closed, and open beta, that is not the way to go every single time. Now let's say you go from 1 to 20, or from 1 prestige level to 2 or 3 prestige levels. The premium pack can be worth it, considering that, you know, you get 2 pieces of gear that is higher guaranteed, a total of 5 random pieces. But don't constantly keep buying these, and I'm going to show you why. So it says right here, instantly get 5 random pieces of gear. Now let's say you just keep buying these, you know, okay, you got all your gear. Now, what if you wanted something for your weapon, you know, and you keep buying these and you just keep getting armor and random stuff? That's why they have the weapon and armor pack. So if you want something for your weapon, you know, it's only 400 steel less, you get 3 pieces, but you're guaranteed to at least get 3 pieces of weapon. Same thing with the armor. So keep that in mind. Don't just spend all your steel on these premium packs, because half the time you're just going to keep getting 5, you know, random pieces of gear, and all you get from those is scrap. So you're wasting your steel on scrap, which is, scrap is like the easiest thing to get in this game. That's a lot of those channels don't understand, you know, don't just sit there and waste all your steel on the premium pack just because, you know, it's in yellow and it, you know, it costs only, you know, 100 steel more and you get 5 pieces instead of 3. Oh, you just won the lottery. All right, don't do that. Remember, I cannot stress that enough. Do not do that. All right, that ends it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end, big thank you to you. If you found this video helpful in any way, or if you liked it at all, please leave a like to let me know I did a good job on this video. If this is your first time on the channel, feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, I hope everyone has an amazing day.